Hello, is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes, but you haven't got a clue. Alright, let me see if I can raise you up for a time as this. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes, but you haven't got a clue. Hello, everyone. Hello. How is everyone doing? Wealthiest, richest, rising. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Thank you guys for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. Welcome to a new day. So first thing we're going to do is Surah Al-Fatiha. Surah Al-Fatiha. Wealthiest, richest, rising, everyone. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hey. So I'm doing a little skin treatment today. Because, you know, we trying to get some stuff to work it out. Because one thing about me, right, I be having all the products, but let me tell you something. You got to use the products in order to make them work. And so, y'all, I really love this right here, just so y'all know. Anyway, the issue with me is that I gotta start making sure that I'm actively using the products. That's the thing, because I be having the products, but then I'm not consistent on the utilizing the products. All right, but I'm getting better in life, because I noticed that's a, you know, thing with me, right? Surah Al-Fatiha. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. I'm trying to treat my under eye area. You know, and my blackheads. Mind you, this thing that I'm using right now, the other day I used it, and I swear it just like, you can see it sitting. The stuff that was underneath of it on my face, the bumps, like, seemed like they did this. It was kind of nasty, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't kind of nasty, but also kind of like exciting to see, because I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and squeeze that out. Anyway, y'all, wealthiest, richest, rising, thank you for being here. We're going to do Surah Al-Fatiha. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. All praises for Allah, Lord of all worlds, the most compassionate, most merciful, Master of the day of judgment. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Guide us along the straight path, the path of those you have blessed, and not those you are displeased with, or those who are astray. Ameen. Alright, next one we're going to do is Psalms 91. I don't know why I want to say this song, but I don't want to say it in the middle of prayer, because, you know, I'll tell y'all what it is in a minute. Psalms 91, because I keep wanting to say it. I keep wanting to. Is that fan too loud, y'all? Let me know if that fan is too loud. Because I be being hot, but right now it just feels good. It was a good breeze, a good wind. And then this stuff is going to start drying up, and it's going to start looking crazy, just so y'all know. But, judge your mammy. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rapport. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. If you say the Lord is my refuge, and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent. For He will command His angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. Because He loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for He acknowledges my name. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him with long life. I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. I mean, So the song that I wanted to sing was "There's some hoes in this house, there's some hoes in this house." And don't ask me why that was in my spirit, but I needed to get it out because literally, I wanted to say it a lot of times. But anyway, there's some hoes in this house, there's some hoes in this house. If you see them, point them out. Somebody might be snitching on the low. Alright, so let me tell y'all something. The energy that I was getting this morning is, I'm gonna say authenticity, right? But it ain't that. It's fake as fuck. You want to be your real authentic self, but they're watching. The feds is watching. The alphabet boys, FBI, DEA, La Policias is watching, right? And so, mind you, this is all spiritual stuff. So I'm talking about the spiritual FBI, the spiritual DEA, the spiritual police, but could be the real police, right? Anyway, period. Got that. Yeah. All right, so it's like surveillance and security is what I'm getting, right? And so it's as if I get onto this God's good internet, and y'all know I don't give a fuck, so I'll be saying stuff because I don't do too much, right? So I could tell some stuff, right? But suppose I was out here behind the scenes doing, the most ungodliest, da 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 da. So what I present to you, my character that I present, when I show up online or when I show up, you know how people be sending their representative. So when the representatives show up, it is very prim and proper. I be like, hello, is it me that you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes that you haven't got a clue. Good morning, Mike. I love you. Thank you for being here. Are you somewhere feeling lonely, or is someone loving you? And then you be like, no one's loving me. But mind you, somebody is really loving you behind the scenes, but it's a secret. So, nobody knows. But anyway, when I come to the internet, what I be saying is, I'm single, celibate, and sober. Okay? I'm really single, celibate, and sober. And I've been that for a very long time. Good morning. Who is that? Jerome. Hi, Jerome in the house. Watch your mouth. Period. See what I'm saying? Surveillance. Hi, Jerome. Welcome. You just made me want to dance. I said Jerome in the house. Hey, y'all remember Martin? I was gonna say Martin Luther King. Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence. Jerome, how you doing today? He said, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Jerome, how was your night? Mike, how was your night? Was it peaceful? Was it restful? Did you get any sleep? Was it chaos and, crazy? Because it's everything. Like, I literally woke up feeling good. Like, I had 2 songs on my mind. I don't know if I can remember them. I probably can, but right now, it ain't going to be that. But how are you guys doing? How you feeling? Mike. Sometimes I be in there, okay? So anyway, it's some snitching happening. It was great. I fell asleep early. Mike, why I went to sleep early too, I was thinking, but I didn't really go to sleep early. I started relocating early, like 10 something, but then when I looked up, it was like after 12, and I said, what's your problem? Mind you, I've been doing that a couple days now. So that's a thing. Jerome said it was good. How about you? Jerome, I have no complaints. I woke up feeling good. I think the one song that I had when I woke up was a wedding song, like Meet Me at the Altar or something of that nature. It might not have been that song, but for some reason I got Love on My Mind also. So I woke up feeling good. I went to the restroom, did my duty in there, washed my hands and my face, brushed my teeth, and then I decided that I was coming in the night gear because I wasn't going to go ahead and hurry up and get dressed and none of that when I just wanted to feel relaxed. So this is going to be like a real relaxed setting because we still in the PJs. So that's pajamas, but also for anybody else that don't know, PJs is the projects, okay? So take it how it resonates. Either way, I meant pajamas, but It could be Project Justice. So take it how it resonates, because I literally just said the spiritual or physical FBI, police, da 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 da. Anyway, at this moment, right, it is a lot of research happening and a lot of conversations happening. I usually go to bed around 12:01, but I was in about 10 last night. Yeah, so that's the other thing. That's what Mike said. And Jerome said, I don't blame you. I'm still in the bed. See what I'm saying? This is when we wake up in the morning and everybody in the same house and we just be lounging around and we be talking about what happened last night. So that's the vibe. Mike, where you at right now? You on your way to school? You in a house? You laying around? Because it's giving me the vibe of it's real conversation happening. We're going to talk about what happened last night, right? Mind you, we could have been asleep. Either way, spiritually, it is somebody watching, somebody not being, you know, it says showing face or giving face. Now, showing face, what does showing face mean? Does that mean like, again, another character showing up, or representing, or because showing face, giving face mean like, you know what I'm saying, I may not have put all the stuff together, but I'm still here giving face. You know what I'm saying? So take it how it resonates. Either way, I'm a spiritual girl in a spiritual world. I ain't plastic, I'm fantastic. You see what I'm saying? So somebody may want you to show up in a whole nother way. I'm a Barbie girl. No, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life is plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me anywhere. Imagination. Life is your creation. Come on, Barbie. Let's go party. Oh, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not that. Like, this is some real shit. This ain't, Lisa, hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. Lisa said good morning from Nebraska and period. Hey, Nebraska, welcome. What you doing over there? How you feeling this morning? Mike said he just got out of bed. You see what I'm saying? It's giving vibes like, you know, we all hung out last night with the crew, and now we waking up and we need to talk about and discuss what happened last night. So what happened last night, it was a police raid, right? So remember, we talking about spiritually, or somebody just got, you know, on the police radar last night. Either way, we're weeding through. They're weeding through. So they got their little notebooks and shit, and they like, last night we got the names. It was Keisha, Renee, Sandy, Andy. You see what I'm saying? This all who was there in the midst of, right? And now my computer is saying verify it's you. It ain't never said that. So now they trying to verify if it's you. I kid you not. Like, the universe be sending messages. You just got to pay attention, because Earth School be talking, honey. They said they got verify it's you. So we need screen prints, hand prints, something, da 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 da. But mind you, pay attention, right? Because it said verify it's you. Over here, it's saying account verification, mind you, right? So everything just popped up all at once. But the thing is this. Because, you know, I be like the spiritual FBI, and I like, you know, being nosy. I showed y'all the verified that it's you that popped up on the screen, but technically I would be looking at everything that's behind the scenes. So we here, we looking, and they looking at everything that's here. You see what I'm saying? So who was in the house, or where was you at when you did it? What was said? Hey, Abby Grace, love you. Thank you for being here. She hopped right in and kept it pushing. I love you. Thank you for being here. Wealthiest rising, richest rising, period. Abby's on the other side. Ken, hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. Majestic Grace, how was your night? Ken, how was your night? So, where y'all at? What y'all doing? And are y'all up? Are y'all at work? Because I got vibes. So the vibe is, thank you, Michael. Was that Michael? Let me see. Oh, Archangel Michael. Okay, the angels is watching. I love it. Hi, Michael. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So, I'm in Maryland, period. Jerome in Maryland. So, you up by my way. So, you in Maryland, Mike in Maryland. It's East Coast shit popping, y'all. Okay. He said, all blessings, Big Mama, and period. She said it was rather enlightening. You see what I'm saying? Mind you, we talking about FBI, the alphabet boys, the FBI, the DEA, surveillance. We gotta verify that it's us, and how we bringing it. Let me verify that it's me. Matter of fact, no, I don't. I don't want to verify shit over here. Hold the fuck up. See what I'm saying? It's the trickery, because this is the thing. He said in DC. I'm from Delaware. In case you don't know, I don't know how long you been here, but Jerome said he's in Maryland. Michael said he's in DC. We on some East Coast shit. The East Coast boys don't play. Oh shit now. All right, so let me tell you the trickery behind this. So I said my computer ain't never done this, right? So somebody trying to get the password, or somebody trying to get an all access pass behind the scenes, right? Because this the thing. I went to my YouTube the way I normally do, because I was getting ready to go ahead and read y'all the title. We done already went through, our prayer, our covering, our, you got to stay prayed up, right? Because remember what God said. Psalms 91, you will not fear the terror of the night, or the arrows that fly by day. So whatever is happening ain't going to touch you, but you are a part of the investigation. She said, yup, exposure and truth, period. So now let me tell y'all the plot and the play. Because what happened was this. FBI, DEA, things of that nature, when they investigate, they be kind of thorough, not unless they just got a stupid ass team up. I don't want to do, my work. But because somebody got a hard on, because this nigga got a hard on, that's the way it feel to me. I'm coming. I'm gunning for that ass. She said, and I love East Coast, and my lawyers are in New York. All right, well, guess what? It feel like Biggie and Pac. Some East Coast, West Coast shit about to pop off. Because right now, I know all y'all just showed up for some East Coast shit. But I got a feeling that Callie's in the building. And mind you, Callie could be a person. Just so y'all know. So take it how it resonates. Because it could be Callie, the location, or it could be Callie, the name. Alright? But mind you, this the thing. I've been all over the place this morning, and normally I be, and I ain't been nowhere. I just been sitting here. But the thing is this. I've been reading this chat, and some mornings it be, but they said pay attention. Pay attention to who's talking. So FBI, DEA, surveillance, police, they be paying attention to what's happening. But mind you, again, I said it's some spiritual shit jumping off. So everything is spiritual. So even if it's not the police investigation behind the scenes, it's those spiritual boys, and they about to come get somebody. So you could be karma for somebody's ass. Now, this is the thing. I said my computer ain't never done that. It asked me for verification. What I was getting ready to do was put my password in there. And then I realized my computer ain't never done that. If I had to put my password in there, somebody would have got my password. Because now what has happened is I just shut the whole shit down, pulled it back up. Why is it not asking me for a password? Why is it not asking me to verify myself right now? So you might have fucked up and put your password in. Either way, it's on the computer, it's on the TV screen, it's just on. Majestic Grace said exposure. Mind you, that's the thing. Because remember, we've been talking about exposure the whole time. But this is what it is. It could be good or bad. And it just depends on how you take it. Because I feel like if a nigga exposed me, I'm going to get me some more niggas. If the universe exposed me, I'm going to get some more blessings. If the universe, or if I get exposed, whatever they try to do, it's going to do the complete opposite. Why? Because I ain't got nothing to hide. Ain't nowhere to run to, baby. Ain't nowhere to hide. Because when I do shit with the intention that God is already listening. And astaghfirullah, I said I wasn't going to cuss. But, the point of it is when I do stuff with the intention that God is already watching. So if God know, who the fuck is y'all? That's not how people do stuff, though. She said, and they blocking your thing. She said, I think we doing the exposing. I don't. What is that? Because we mind our business. Okay, and period. I like it. Check. Who should we free? Puff, Dirk, Kells, El Chapo. We damn sure ain't freeing Puffy, because you know what I'm saying. He need to be put under the prison, and quite frankly, I don't think he's gonna make it out of prison. I think, and I said this a long time ago, I think they gonna lay him down. I think they just waiting for their time. R. Kelly, nah. See, cause with me, if you do some kid shit, you ain't. And I still remember Aaliyah, so I love R. Kelly, for everything. I feel like, he probably has or not have. I ain't the judge, cause I don't know what he done. Dirk, don't know too much about him. I don't know too much about Dirk. But El Chapo, all he did was what? Slang them things. I don't know if he did any other stuff. So as of now, I'm going to say, give him all the God. Because I don't have no, all the information. And this is the thing. We be judging people and everything else, and we don't be having all the information. So, give them all to God. Whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen, and that's going to be it. So it says the silence is deceiving. Things are rearranging behind the scenes. That sounds like to me like, it may look like nothing is happening, but all the while, it's somebody in the business. It's being investigated. It's being looked at. It's being exposed, like she said. And I missed something because it said somebody was there. She said in period. Because I'll give a bitch to God real quick. Like, I wish you nothing. I don't want to set you free if you belong, being hemmed up. And this is why I said everything is spiritual, because we got to remember that the higher ups are overseeing this too. That's why I said I don't say nothing and I don't do nothing, not knowing, not thinking that God is not watching. Y'all be afraid of people. Y'all be hiding stuff from people. Like, God's still watching. And that's the thing. Do you like 6ix9ine? I don't have a beef with nobody. Like, in real life, I have a beef with nobody. It seemed like to me like you want to be the judge. So, judge not, at least ye be judged. And the people that be judging the most seem like y'all be doing the worst stuff. It's like right now with the government. The government is doing nothing for the people, but meanwhile outside of here they're doing everything for everybody outside. I just watched a couple videos today and it was showing that they're still sending more money, but meanwhile, the people inside of the U.S. need the money. My daughter said her dad missed her dental appointment. I told her, have the mouth you deserve. I mean, listen. Sometimes, and this is the other thing. Abby, I know you on point, but let me tell you something. Grant grace, even grace when grace wasn't given to you, because something is happening behind the scenes, and I can almost bet you they're going to be their own demise. So don't get in it. Don't even, like, how we do, hands off. Even don't wish nothing, because this is the moment in time where everything is changing. It's been an energy in the world where it seemed like the people that think they can, and they do, because it's their journey and their lesson, everything is backfiring. Everything is turning, everything is being used against them. So the very thing that they wish for you is going to be the very thing that ends up happening to them. I've been noticing a lot of that has been happening. Like, I throw a dart, not me, because, I give your ass to God, but they throw a dart, and then somehow that dart bounces off the wall and flies back and hits them, and somebody's like, well, damn, that was a freak accident. Nah, it was because your lesson and your test was, when you heard spiritually they told you not to do that, and then you still did it. You thought that it was going to hit this person, but meanwhile they was telling you not to do it because it was going to mess you up, and it's going to mess you up badly. So the incense, even right now, right, it could be a good mouth that she deserves, is given to God either way. Yeah. And so, because, we want to keep our hands off of it, because wish for them whatever you want to wish for them, but I wish for them nothing. Like, I'm wishing you, I'm not saying nothing. I'm not, if you do whatever God wishes for you to have, that's what I got for you. Because technically I got nothing. You see what I got nothing for you. I got whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to do it knowing that God is watching, and I don't care nothing about what y'all talking about. And you can handle it however you want to, because that's just the way I handle it. That's just the way I feel about it. But it's like a lot of judging going on, and people don't know your choices. People don't know your situation. People don't know your circumstances. People don't realize, like, if it's sitting right here, and it's on Front Street. Like, I done got my ass handed to me, and I can say that in a cuss word for real, where God done said, don't do this, But because I'm here and, I'm a human being and I actively, I be thinking what I be thinking, and God is say, don't do this way. Um, but what if I feel like that's my only choice, right? Because you hear God, but sometimes you don't get all the choices, in the midst of it. And I done heard God say, don't do this, don't do this. And I do it anyway. And then I get my hand smacked, my head smacked. And then I'll be sitting there like, you already heard don't do that anyway. So why did you do that? And then it's nobody but my own fault. You see what I'm saying? So it's just all on whether or not you hear it, all on whether or not you get it. But at this moment in time, I promise you, it's a lot of sorting through. And you know what happens when you get sorted through and all the information, because heaven knows all the information. And whether or not you think that, oh, I got away with this, you really didn't. And as I keep explaining, it's a wealth transfer happening right now. And in the wealth transfer, like, I don't know if Blueface the baby pappy, it's only going to be when he go get a blood test if he knows that he the baby pappy. But right now in the system, it's actively Nevaeh trying to avoid sending the DNA test, over to the people she riding around with it. She done swabbed her own mouth. It be a lot of deception happening on earth, right? But in heaven, they already knew the minute that, seed got fertilized, they already knew who the baby daddy was. So it didn't matter. So as of now, let's just take, their scenario, since it's all over everybody's timeline. And let's just say that Blueface is King Tutankhamun and he is, reincarnated, right? Because he be acting like he's a big nigga. So he King Tutankhamun and he's emperor of, whatever, the United States right now. And he got all the bitches, all the hoes. His words, not mine, okay? All the females, all the ladies. And so we got this one, Krishan over here, she one of the ladies. We got Nevaeh over here, she's one of the ladies. They could be whoever the wives was from back in the day. And it be just playing itself out again here in on this planet, on this universe. But mind you, this is it, right? This is the moment that everybody been waiting for, because this is Judgment Day. All right, so everybody's being judged, but people be thinking that you getting in a line like, oh, we gonna line up and it's gonna be one behind the other and we gonna be being judged. No, Judgment Day right here along with wealth transfer is when you do it, is when you getting judged. Like the book in heaven is saying, okay, I told this person don't go robbing and stealing and scamming and lying, so we gonna expose them for lying, stealing, scamming, and lying. If you get yourself in the midst of heaven dealing with it, then you gonna get, you hand it to you too, because ain't nobody told you to go over there and do that, because heaven is also telling everybody to mind your business. So it's like the investigation. So if the alphabet boys, the spiritual police, the real police, he should have at least took her to drop it off, because she could have took his swab to swabbing. No, that's not what he's supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? This is the thing. It's his journey and it's her journey. You know what he is doing? The same thing I would have to do. People better watch out for people who are quietly spiritual, because guess what? Her journey is to see if she's going to do the right thing. I can almost guarantee you that he ain't blind to the fact. He's going to let her do what she's going to do, and then later on it's going to come back to bite her, because he's very calculating. Like, I'm not going to interfere with what you have plans for me to do. But also, I ain't going to let you have plans for me that, bitch, I'm not already on. So, if you ever notice that when he puts her in a place and he's been holding that baby and keeping that baby closer to himself, it's because sooner or later, if he don't trust what she did, he's going to swab that baby himself. And then, bitch, I got you. Because not only is you, a bitch, but you a lying, cheating, stealing bitch. You see what I'm saying? Because I just told y'all about King Tutankhamun, and back then it wasn't no DNA test. So he had to just trust whoever the person was right here saying that, I'm the baby pappy. But meanwhile, it was the nigga, the slave, the security guard that stood watch on the side of the door. It was his baby, because he spent enough time with her. But because ain't no DNA test, I just got to take it and assume that this is King Tut's baby. And meanwhile, it's not King Tut's baby. And then you got the world right now, the people in the world that do DNA tests and everything else that be lying too, because they'll go dig up a grave from 1302 and they'll say, oh, this grave belongs to King Tutankhamun. Mind you, they also know that grave robberies and things in that nature was happening. A person could have been put in that grave in that tomb, and they done lied to us, and they done said, oh, this is what we found inside the tomb. They DNA tested that person. Mind you, it could be an old relative of theirs that they done put in there. We be having too much trust for these scientists and all these other people, not realizing that they be lying. So they go dig up a grave, they stick this one in here, and then they come and they say, oh, this miraculous discovery of King Tut's tomb, and then they pull this mummy out of there, right? And then they DNA test the mummy. It's not the right mummy. But because we don't know, lights, camera, action, now they got the DNA test, and then they said, oh, this DNA from King Tut is into the royal family, and then now it's like the president, da-da-da-da-da. All these people are connected back to this. Yo, why are we believing anything they say? Because if you don't have the actual person, then you don't have the actual DNA. And we just be too trusting on the fact that, oh, y'all, this is the first time that the tomb was open. Mind you, remember they was eating mummies and everything else like back in the day. Go back and look in history. They wanted to impart whatever it was that the mummy had inside of them. So we don't know if the security guard got put inside of the tomb. We don't know if, but mind you, y'all hear me talking about some death, right? And I said the police is watching. The alphabet boys, so it's a lot that's happening behind the scenes, because when they come for you and they start investigating, they don't tell you that they investigating. You just start being investigated. And an observing person can say, okay, I went to the grocery store yesterday and I got followed. How do I know I got followed? I can also tell you that, sometimes when certain things are happening and police contact comes about, like, it's not, nothing is a coincidence. Everything is happening for a reason. I done had a lot of police contact recently. What is the universe trying to say? Mind you, again, if I get investigated, I'm not worried about whatever they talking about. You see what I'm saying? But if you got investigated, would you be worried about what they talking about? Would you be afraid of something that you have done behind the scenes that could come up and it wouldn't look kosher, and you thought you may have gotten away with it, but nah, homie. And then all of a sudden, it's the people and the things that you think that, my people ain't going to snitch. My people ain't going to say nothing. Y'all realize you got to be loyal to yourself. So mind you, we talking about 3D shit, but we also talking about real spiritual shit, because they already know you did it. They already know you did it. So now, as far as the spiritual investigation, they figuring out how to untangle, untie, unbind, separate, expose, like she said, exposure, because we're going to expose you for doing it. So when the spiritual police is on your ass, that's worse than these people, because nowhere to run to, baby, nowhere to hide. Like, these people got to prove that you did it. Spiritual police know you did it. All they doing is lining the pieces up for it to be caught and exposed here. And so, like I said, I almost put my fingerprint, my passcode inside of this because it popped up on my screen to verify it. So that's some IT people, right? So somebody being able to get into your computer, access your devices, and basically start pulling stuff. She said facts. The draw's already checked, period. So now we got some IT people on the mist, right? Because this is also the other thing. Have y'all ever been sitting on live or, anywhere? I know it happens with me a lot, right? I can get on FaceTime with somebody and it'll look like, everything is kosher, right? And then all of a sudden the fucking cameras start doing something crazy. And they start flipping. That's why, in case y'all don't realize or don't know, I'm going to give y'all a little heads up about me. I don't talk to nobody that I can't see on camera, right? And mind you, I done said this to numerous amounts of people, and my friend Keitsa will tell you the same exact thing has been happening for years. Mind you, a total of since 2022. It's 2026 now, just so you know. And ever since that glitch that happened in the system, I don't talk to nobody that I can't see like face to face. Mind you, the reason why I do that is, one, I need to, because it's everything, I need to see everything. Somehow, some way, the universe works with me and loves me so much that every time I get on FaceTime with somebody, it start exposing stuff. I also, when you get on FaceTime with me, I don't do none of this. Like, for all of y'all, if you outside of the camera, y'all saw it. If you doing this, I don't fuck around. Like, she already know all the codes, because I done been on social media with some people, and we done had, like chats and lives and this, that, and the third. Like, I start warning my people behind the scenes, like text messaging. You see what they doing? Why they doing it? And it never fails. Every time something happens to, show me something, and I never say nothing. I just, behind the scenes make note of it, this, that, and the third. Even Abby, you don't realize you holding on to something right now that I told you a while ago about somebody that shows up in the channel all the time, and I said we don't know them people. You see what I'm saying? So I said it to you because sooner or later their hand is gonna be shown, and I'm gonna just have it on top. Abby, you remember when I told you that specific, da 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 da? It looked like this, but again, I don't know who's behind the screen. Like, everybody show up and we be kiki and ha ha and this, that, and the third. Because I told y'all right now, it's like we went to the club last night, right? And or the spiritual realm, and so we might have been talking in our sleep, this, that, and the third. But either way, this morning we woke up to the tune of we just now relaxing. And now we're discussing what happened, in the spiritual realm. Why did the police show up? Let me tell y'all, one night I had the best night ever, right? Mind you, didn't get in no trouble, but it was enough trouble, right? And it be those nights that be exciting, like when you living on the edge. Went to, a bar, and if you ain't never been in the middle of a bar fight, I have, right? Don't ask me how. I was never supposed to be, okay? Anyway, long story short, I was there minding my own business, me and my crew having a good ass time. All of a sudden, I happened to notice that it's a girl across the way. Mind you, from Maryland, just so y'all Maryland people know, we was at Ocean City at fucking Secrets. Okay, so it might be some secrets around here, but this ain't one. Anyway, long story short, we was with some niggas, and me and some girls, and it was a whole group of us, girls, guys, everybody, and we're all from Delaware. So it's another group over here, girls, guys, they're all from Maryland, right? And mind you, you can call my crew and we can get with your crew, we can get, like, we ain't never arguing or beefing with nobody, because when I was out drinking, like, I buy the, we be getting the bar bought, like, you know what I'm saying? So I be the life of the party, because I be handing out drinks and this, that, and the third, because the niggas be buying the drinks, and you know what I'm saying, they be sending drinks, and I just be handing out drinks, okay? You see what I'm saying? With that being said, what happened, Mike? Why you take it out? You didn't like their comments? They ain't say too much. Anyway, so long story short, I happened to notice that it was a girl that was across the way, and she's eyeballing me and my friend, right? And I'm like, well, what's wrong with her? And I don't know why it's a thing with women where instead of, wanting to hang out with another woman or see another woman or, congratulate another woman, like, I'll congratulate another woman. If you beautiful, bitch, you are beautiful. You are gorgeous. I love your outfit. Like, I'm a whole girl's girl out here, right? Even with the people, y'all see that, when the stuff be happening online, I'll say my piece about this, but I also be helping the girls try to figure out, like, you ain't got to deal with no nigga talking like that. This is what you do, honey. Mike said it had nothing to do with you or the topic, period. Well, I had already answered them anyway, but, minding my business. So the girl was, you know, eyeballing and whatnot, and I'm steady saying like, what is up with that? That's weird because, you know, we some good people. Like I hang around with good people. My people be, you know, good people. Anyway, long story short, something happened. They looked like they was mad at us. Apparently we was having too much fun. I don't know why. We starts moving around because Secrets is a pretty big club in Ocean City. That's Maryland. And so we start moving around, and next thing you know, there's an incident with the men, right? The men, somebody stepped on somebody's sneaker or something, all right? Instantly abrupts into whatever, but whatever was happening was already festering because, like I said, the girl had already been kind of clocking, and I think when it's niggas over here and some niggas think they big niggas and these niggas think they big niggas and maybe we was on their territory, I don't know. Either way, somebody stepped on somebody's shoe. Next thing you know, because they was trying to beef with somebody that was with us, one of our people takes, and the people that then got too close, they don't like doing a whole bunch of talking, okay? So either way, bar fight breaks out. It's chairs being thrown, it's this happening, it's a bunch of stuff. In the midst of me trying to see everything that's going on, because I'm trying to also keep everybody together and organized, because y'all done just started a bar fight. We gotta be the fuck up out of here, because this ain't, you know what I mean? Anyway, so as I'm trying to keep the people organized, the girl that was watching us from the beginning, apparently her beef was not with me. Her beef was with the girl that I was with, because she takes and hits the girl with her shoe, and all of a sudden blood shoots everywhere, okay? So my friend that was with me got wide open. I'm just trying to get everybody organized and still together, because we now gotta leave. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why I always be taking on the, you know, let's make sure everybody's good role, like, you know. Anyway, so we gathering everybody together. I'm making sure that my friend good, da 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 da. One of the people that is with us see that my friend got her, you know, shit split, and they wasn't going to take that as, you know, we can't leave the bar with, you know, our people being hurt and you not being hurt. So somebody takes, you know, and the bitch gets laid the fuck out, okay? Anyway, long story short, we get out of there. The police is called, and you can't get locked up in Maryland on the weekend, just in case nobody knows. Because if you do, your ass is there till Monday. So it already been talked about amongst everybody. Get y'all ass in the cars and let's go. And we got like 3 or 4 cars, right, that we got to get everybody out of here. So we all leave. We all get to, you know, da 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 da. And now we talking about it, because, you know, we all here talking about it. And so, yeah, it got deeper than rap behind the scenes, because what ends up happening is, come to find out, the girl that started the whole entire thing, she belonged to a nigga in Maryland that don't play no games, okay? And he wanted to know why his bitch got knocked the fuck out. So somebody from their squad did a little bit of investigation. Okay? So the person that they could find, you know, that they talked to is me, right? So anyway, because I'm never hard to find, I don't be hiding from nobody, and I used to always be at a certain location because that was my favorite place. It was the my favorite place. Anyway, so I get a phone call. My phone number done been the same for forever today, up until probably about 4 years ago. No, not even 4 years ago, about 3 years ago. Same number for forever and a day. So I get a phone call from a person, and the person says, can I come see you real quick? And I'm like, cool. So all of a sudden, nigga pulls up by himself, real big dude, right? Mind you, I wish I knew what his name was, because he was cool as fuck. Big yellow Hummer, okay? Just so y'all know, back in the day. Big yellow Hummer pulls up. The nigga gets out, he comes, we go where we going. So we sit down, we start talking, right? So he's like, such and such girl was at the place. This what happened. This the story she told, right? And I said, nah, she's lying, because that's not how that happened. We didn't even know who that was. She started doing whatever that thing was from on side of the bar. Like, I'm trying to, I was sending people drinks. So I don't know why she was, beefing, but then sooner or later we found out she was beefing with the girl that I was with. It had nothing to do with nobody else. Long story short, she took her shoe off and, bloodshot everywhere. Don't know why the whole beef thing actually started or why she initiated. So the girl lied and said that we initiated with them. That wasn't the thing. Anyway, long story short, come to find out after I got done talking to the dude, right, and everything got squashed because he said, oh, well, if it went that way, then we gonna talk to, da-da-da-da-da, and we'll let him know that his girl lying. Mind you, she done lied because she wasn't never even supposed to be at the joint, and mind you, wasn't supposed to be with the people that she was with while she was at the joint. But I don't leave out no pertinent information. You know how I told y'all before, like, I hate when I see movies, like, and it plays out all the time. Watch any movie. Anytime you watching a movie or anything else, somebody leaves out the pertinent information that could have fixed this whole entire shit from the beginning. I be telling all the important, pertinent information. So I gave the pertinent information. He said, cool. Don't nobody worry about nothing, right? He goes on about his way. Life good, all is well. Ain't heard nothing, about this situation at all, period. But meanwhile, I'm sure there was some other stuff that happened behind the scenes because of the fact that now this person got to get dealt with because they done told, whoever that was a lie. And y'all almost started a whole war with, somebody or people behind some bitch shit. And I still to this day don't know why the girl even had, like, because when I was asking my friend, I said, do you know this person? No. Women, and this is what I'm saying even about the King Tut thing, and I tell people this all the time, and I'm a woman so I can see it and I know it. A jealous woman bring down the whole entire kingdom. Loose lips sink ships. Don't know how to, like, zip it up when it's time to shut your ass up. Like, be quiet, ass bitch. Like, shut your ass up. Like, don't know how to, will bring down the whole kingdom. A person who don't know how to answer properly will bring down the whole entire kingdom. And remember, spiritually, we dealing with, heaven already knows. But here, 3D, somebody can get it mixed up because of the fact that it's this person, how they say it's three sides to a story, this person, and then the truth, whatever happens in the middle. But this is the thing. This person could have told the truth. This person could have told the truth. And two things could be true at the same time, but this is the way they saw it and this is the way they saw it. So it don't even have to be that a person lied or anything else. It's just that from my perspective, because I don't know what her perspective was or what she thought. From my perspective, you had no reason to beef with us. You had no reason to argue with us. You had no reason for nothing. All you saw was somebody having a good time and you felt like, you wanted to interrupt that, or you thought that you was bigger than the program, because people be also thinking that they bigger than the program. That's another thing. You want to insert yourself. So it's just like you being somebody's girlfriend or wife, and they could be a powerful entity, right? And because I know my man, my husband, my spiritual da-da-da-da-da is a powerful, whatever, I start picking with people because I know my, it's going to get me out of whatever it is. So now I start initiating problems, this, that, and the third. And I may not even know what this person got going on. This person may not need to have none of these issues. But meanwhile, here I go inserting myself into stuff that I shouldn't even be inserted into. Because I don't know about y'all, but it also made me a little bit upset that, it's big grown, people calling and this, that, and the third around to even be able to question me about, whatever. And it wasn't really that. It was just a thing like, you done told lies to people. You get ready to set up, because they was looking for, the niggas. It had nothing to do with the girls, because, you know what I'm saying? I didn't feel threatened or any of that. Even behind that, it was, where the niggas at? Who the niggas, this, that, and the third? And why y'all looking for the niggas when y'all should be looking for the girl that started the, whole little thing. Anyway, neither here nor there. FBI, CIA, spiritually, da-da-da-da-da. The silence is deceiving. Things are rearranging behind the scenes. Take it how it resonates. You can't trust what a person is saying, because it could be how they're seeing it, their perspective behind the scenes. But mind you, they started the shit, and here we are having a good day, a good morning. Welcome everybody. Wealthiest, richest, rising. Having a conversation about what happened last night. Okay? So, the gathering. Okay, because we are gathered here today. Sounds like a wedding is happening. And a wedding could be this, a marriage, a blend. It don't have to be a real wedding. It sounds like it could be a connection. I also want to make sure that you're not messy. So Mike, like, I love you, right? And Mike been on, the channel. He be helping. He just kicked the whole nigga out because he said ain't got nothing to do with that me or nothing else. So he trying to keep me on track, right? So we have a blend, right? And so Mike could be trying to figure out, do I want to even be a part of this blend? Also, my energy figuring out, do it want to even be a part of this blend, right? And here we go, starting to realize and starting to know things about each other that, okay, I can feel safe, right? But if I start doing a whole lot of messy ass, because he already know I'll cut somebody out, this and the third, or whatever. But if I start doing a lot of stuff that's out of, what he as a man perceives, because I told y'all yesterday, when you start disrespecting, and I'm going to say a black man because I deal with black men, maybe white men don't like to be disrespected either, but when you start calling a black man out of his name and you start calling him bees and this, that, and the third, you're not going to be around here too long, right? And so I said that, and I asked, in the comments, I said, if there's black men around here, tell me how long y'all lasted with anybody that started disrespecting you and calling you out your name, right? Mike instantly said, soon as the disrespect starts, I'm out of here, right? But me, I already know that. I already know that about black men, right? Because they not dealing with that. They going to deal with a lot, but they ain't going to deal with that. Even a black man who needs you for, a short period of time, they're only going to tolerate you until they do, like, they'll be plotting in their head, I'm getting ready to get away from you. Okay? That's one of the things. So anyway, long story short, and I said, just in case y'all don't know, like, I come here, I do spiritual work, this, that, and the third. I'm also building my own, spiritual temperature and this, that, and the third. But when I am ready, and this is coming from a foul mouth, I was waiting until I got to a certain age to be able to cuss. I love to cuss. God is working on me actively right now with my cuss words, and I'm trying to stop cussing. But trust and believe, if you start doing, breaking my peace, I know how to cut you down so bad with some words. So I'm not even speaking from a person who, how people will try to act like they better than, oh, I would never, da-da-da-da-da. I would. And by the time that I'm done, I already know, and this is why I'm telling you why I know this. When the disrespect starts, he's not wrong. Because I be respecting a man until I don't. And once I don't, I done already made peace in my brain. This is over. You see what I'm saying? So I'm telling y'all this from the standpoint on, when I see it, I know it. And also, because I've been on this planet 50 years right now. And so in my whole entire 50 years, I ain't never disrespected a man that I loved or that I wanted to be with. When I start disrespecting a nigga, your ass is out of here. We already know that. And so just on how long we just gonna, stick around and be here. Facts, I called a realtor and got to looking for my house. And period. You see what I'm saying? He letting y'all know. So I say that to say, if you want him, watch how you talk to him. If you want to be with somebody, treat them the way you would want to be treated. Even in the midst of. Even if I got called, 9,000 bitches, this, that, and the third, it wasn't until after, like, the 9,999 bitch that I made note to him and everybody else that if you see a bitch, then clearly it takes one to know one. And then I know that I was being a bitch, but do you know that you're being a bitch? Mind you, and even in them words, I never called nobody a bitch, but it hurt so bad because you can tell the look on a nigga face, like realizing like, oh shit. But just know that when the disrespect starts and you start saying stuff out of your mouth to, certain individuals, just wrap it up, ball it up, throw it in the trash can because it's over, hova. All they're waiting for is their exit. The new, whoever female to show up, the new, where is my stuff? You heard Mike over here said he was waiting on his new house. He just had to go on and get. Because they not going to deal with that. And you shouldn't want to be doing that. And this is the thing. Don't introduce yourself into nothing. If you already know a nigga talk like this and you don't want to be treated like that, don't introduce yourself into that. But this is also the other thing. Even if a nigga does talk like that or a man does talk like that, they treat different women different ways. And so what they'll do for you, they might not do for somebody else. Because I done had multiple instances where a female says, they never treated me like that. They seem like they baby you, this and the third. What you want me to do? What you accept and what I'll accept is two different things. I'm not going to accept that because I got better choices and better options to do with myself. I'd rather be with myself, by myself, before I have somebody talking crazy to me as if they don't realize my worth. Because I'm going to make things better, okay? So just know that. You make me better. You make me better. That's me. Period. He said, and I still paid all the bills until the day I left. You see what I'm saying? So just know that if you coming out of your mouth disrespectful and you think that, you know, a man is not listening to that, and even if they stay a long period of time, just know that whatever it is that you're doing in the process, if they don't gotta pay no bills, they just ain't found another female that they can move into her house and she gonna pay all the bills. So you are the bottom of the barrel of whatever barrel that is that they don't feel like they, because when you start that and it's, you know, you calling a man be this, be that, you gonna be alone pretty soon, okay? Anyway, just know, stop confusing stillness with stagnation. What looks like nothing happening was actually things rearranging behind the scenes. You were not, she said, borrowed time and period. It's facts, like, you know what I'm saying? So rearranging behind the scenes. You were never forgotten. You were never overlooked. You were never being punished. You were being positioned. So that's the thing. Sometimes we look at things like when nothing is happening, and I mean like to the nothing, you waiting for something, you're actively waiting on a prayer, and it's not happening as fast as you need it or whatever. It's the rearranging of things that are happening behind the scenes, and you know, that may be the thing that we don't understand. God, I've been asking for a miracle, and why is it not happening, you know, here, there, right now, at this moment in time, and this is when I need it. And it may come, you know, in the next 32 seconds or the next 32 days or the next 32 hours or whatever. But either way, it is the universe having to, you know, untangle, untie, unbind, unwind, or put people in position. You're being positioned. Some doors didn't open because they weren't your doors. Sometimes we be standing at a door that's not ours. It's not meant for us to be there. It looked good. It was cool, you know, and it was something that maybe you thought, you know, oh, this may change my life. Yeah, and you don't realize it could change your life for the worse. But either way, it just wasn't your door. And sometimes we be standing in locations with people in places, and it's just not for us to be there. Because like I said, I was never supposed to be in the middle of a bar fight. It's certain things, like even when I got locked up, right? For 2 days. 2 days I got locked up. Why? I'm gonna tell you. So I was in Texas, DeSoto, and I'm over there minding my business. My baby daddy decides that he's gonna come to Texas, and you know, we're gonna have our family. Me, him, our 2 sons, and my boys were young at this time. And so he comes out, and he's still doing whatever he's doing, talking to, you know, people back home, this, that, and the third, da 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 da. I ain't gonna stop nobody from doing nothing, but let me tell you something. You gonna, you know, teach me how we gonna do this. Lead by example. Mind you, we staying at my daddy's house, right? So anyway, long story short, he doing whatever he doing. I get sick and tired of it. I start hanging out, right? Because, you know, I tells people I'm about to be hanging out. So I go hang out with a girl that was married to one of my dad's soldiers. So me and her out to the club. The soldier is there, so he has his friends there, right? Anyway, long story short, he had a friend that was fine, all right? So they telling me, like, you know, and mind you, I'm still being respectful because they asking me to go, you know, from the club to over their crib. And I'm saying, nah, I'm still gonna go in the house, this, that, and the third. I should have went to the nigga crib. Because when I gets home, this nigga over here that done started everything, and I wouldn't have been outside if you wasn't outside, but now we all outside. you know. Now we all outside. Okay, and so now he starts pushing and prodding and this, that, and the third. And I already told y'all this story before. Long story short, when my dad's not around, he's pushing, trying to provoke me. And I fell for the bait because I was over it. I was, nigga, stop trying to put your hands on me. Anyway, long story short, hi, Iced Up. Hi, welcome. Thanks for being here. So, long story short, I blacks. Because, bitch, you got me fucked up. And when I blacked out, I just commenced to trying to, put a nigga head through the wall. And I was wrong. I really, really was. Because I shouldn't have let him provoke me. So anyway, as my dad and them are trying to get me off of this person, my dad, nobody could get me off of this person because literally I blacked. And all I saw was get rid of. And so my dad and them are trying to get me. So my dad's wife calls the police. And in the process of her talking to the police, trying to break everything up, all they hear is my dad saying, let him go. They couldn't pry me off of this nigga. So anyway, long story short, when the police show up, I gets locked up for domestic violence for 2 days because you got to have a cool down period. And in the process of me being locked up for 2 days, this nigga packs his stuff and leaves my kids with my dad and flies back to Delaware. So not only I'm arrested, I'm locked up away from my kids, you get on a flight thinking that it's cool, but mind you, you started all of this. So for 2 days I sat in a clink, right? Cold. I had on my night clothes. Right now, like I just said, we chilling. Y'all, we in the pajamas even right now to this day, okay? She said, be right back. Okay. We chilling. So we in the night clothes, but when I got locked up, I was in my night clothes. So when I went to the county, I'm in the county that's cold. And all I'm thinking is, you was never supposed to be locked up. Hey, I was a correctional officer. At that moment in time, I was also a medical assistant. I had just got done graduating school. Now, first and foremost, he didn't go to Texas with me when I went. This is why you should not bring old things into your new thing. I moved to Texas because God told me to move to Texas. I'm going to change your life. And I try to import a nigga from back where I was and got mind you, you see how I swear on my life. It be stuff like this that God be showing me. Like, every time I did this, my life got weird. Because literally even here, I decided to import a nigga here. And then shit went crazy. You see how you never understand it until you say the shit out loud. Don't go back to no old shit. Anyway, long story short, I'm sitting in the jail, right? These niggas got thick ass bologna and cheese sandwiches. I ain't eating nothing because I'm not eating that. Period. It's cold as hell. I tell these people I'm cold. You know what they gave me? A dirty ass blanket. And I mean, this blanket was dirty as I don't know what. I think this was God's moment of teaching me a lesson, like, for real, like, I freed you from a location, from the place when I told you to leave from there, and not only did you leave from there, you did what I told you to do, but then you went and called this same, perpetrator back. So then, I'm in the cell by myself from the beginning, and about a day later, a girl comes in, because you gotta wait 24 hours. A day later, a girl comes in. And so they gave her, she had a blanket. So she ended up giving me her blanket too. So I had 2 blankets by the time she left. She got released before I did. So as I'm calling my dad and them and everybody to try to, and mind you, remember, I don't know no phone numbers, no nothing. So, all I know is they're trying to figure out how to get me out. Mind you, the perpetrator, the one that caused the whole entire incident, but again, I allowed it, I brought him there, so I'm going to take accountability, and I'm going to know that this is why I said that nigga will never come nowhere around me, and even in the midst of him sending text message, in 2026, this nigga sending text messages talking about, and this happened around 2011, because I moved to Georgia in 2012, so in 2026, the same nigga that got me locked up is sending messages in 2026 talking about they wish they had it worked out. Bitch, you can go to hell. I would never on my life or my kids' life or anybody else's life, I would never fuck with this nigga again, because once you got me locked up, bitch, ain't no going back from that. Like, that was one of the rules. I put boundaries and everything. If you get me locked up, bitch, we're done. Another thing, growing up, one of my rules with men was, like, I can recover from cheating, right? But if you have a baby on me, bitch, we're done. That was one of my boundaries. So a nigga ain't never played with me to have no babies on me at all, period, while I was with him, because I had already created the stipulation, like, you can get away with, a lot of things, but babies ain't it, because I'm not going to put myself through that. Anyway, long story short, I'm in jail. This nigga's nowhere to be found. Don't call to check. Don't call my dad and them, no nothing, right? So as I'm in, the lockup, and they're trying to figure out how to bail me out, my dad and them, because at the time I had a person, wasn't even my person, wasn't even a nigga I was, this person was just having conversation with me, leading me through the, whole separation and breakup marriage, because I was married to their dad. So at the time we was married too. So, my dad calls a whole nother person. The person pays, I think it might have been like $2,000 or something. I don't know how much it cost. But anyway, the person sent all the money to my dad, got me out of jail. Then the same person, but mind you, the baby dad ain't nowhere to be found. He done left, got me locked up, went back to the same person that he came. So he completed that assignment. Just think. Now, we broke up because you was already cheating and doing a bunch of stuff. I leave because I'm trying to make my life better. It was my fault to bring this person there, so the person should have never been there. So me being locked up was just part of the script, part of the program, because I should have known better, right? Okay. So I failed that test. Anyway, long story short, I gets out of jail. They pays my bond. Now I gotta go to court. Because, I just told you I'm a medical assistant. When you're a medical assistant, you cannot have charges of abuse. That could have ruined, I just went to school for that. So he could have ruined that. They didn't care. The enemy's job is to kill, steal, and destroy. I don't want you, but I also don't want you doing better, because y'all fail to realize when you move away from these people who basically try to, say that you were the problem, and you start doing better. How am I going to convince myself that you're the problem if you start doing better when, I'm going in this, that, and the third? So again, I fell for the bait. The person that bailed me out of jail also paid for my attorney. So I had to get an attorney to make sure that I never got the charge. So they got the charge thrown out, and it later on got taken off my record because of the fact that, I couldn't have that on my record. It would have messed up my whole medical assistant thing. Excuse me. Then the person paid for me to get a divorce. And then it just kept being things that were, being positioned. And mind you, the person that did all this, right, out of nowhere, because when I met this person, it was out of nowhere, they said that God told them to help me. Maybe they was using it as like a pickup, this, that, and the third. I don't know. But either way, this person damn sure upgraded, a lot of things of life, and has also and did change a lot of things about my life. So you were being positioned. Sometimes we have to go through certain things, and you wonder why you have to go through certain things. There's provisions being made on either side, even if you make a mistake. And that's one thing that I keep trying to tell you. Players fuck up. We fuck up sometimes, right? The number one rule of Earth School is don't die, because this is Earth School. Earth School is we're all here on Earth. Every day we learn. Every day we grow. Some days we may make mistakes, but guess what? As long as you don't die, you can redo something. You can change something. You can add something. You can do something different, okay? So with that being said, being positioned differently. Realizing where we made the mistake. Hey, Adriana, hi, welcome, thank you for being here. Adriana, how was your night? So, one thing that I'm learning, right, is about the crew. The crew that you be around. So, who is your crew? Who has been your crew from day one to this, right? And so now I'm around nobody. What the universe did was separated me from every single one of them people. Because a lot of things that happen in life, surrounding the same group of people that I thought, friends, family, this, that, or the third, I kept getting into stuff with. And even if it was, you know, us waking up and us having the best night, best thought process on, you know, oh, that was an exciting night and we had, you know, whatever fun in the midst of, now you're changing. Now you're growing. Now you're starting to realize what's what, who's who was around when this happened and why this happened, and having a better understanding, you know, of situations, right? So the silence is deceiving. You may be sitting here waiting for, you know, your biggest miracle, your biggest, you know, situational change. Things are being rearranged behind the scenes. People are being talked to. Something happened the other day, and I happened to call somewhere, and I said to the person, you know, I gave them all my information, this, then, and third. And they said, oh, well, did you know that this just changed down to this? And I said, no. But instantly it put a spark in my body because I'm not even gonna lie, I had just gave up on it. Like, you know, whatever happens, happens, and still whatever happens, happens. But now I'm actively more motivated to be able to take care of it because... But who was working at, because now it seems like it's feasible. The other way seemed like it was just out of my range. This one seems like it's feasible. But who was working on that behind the scenes on my behalf? Because I don't even know why that changed. But somebody had my name in their mouth. Somebody had my file on their desk. Somebody rearranged something and made it better. And that's the thing. You may not realize that your name has been pulled. Your name is on a file. Your name is... Yesterday, out of nowhere, I got a letter from somewhere. That's right here. And the letter says, in 2021, so this letter's from something that happened from 2021 and 26. And now it's 2026. And it says, in 2021, you did this. And we owe you this. And I'm saying, like, I still got an account with these people. So why would they have not, if I had did that in 2021, why would they just not have added that credit to my account? But mind you, it went to some unclaimed funds, this, that, and the third. So out of nowhere, now the universe has just started making provisions and ways and things that you didn't know. And there's this, you know, manifestation tactic that, you know, I always be saying. You all of a sudden start getting checks and money out of nowhere. Happened another time. I had got a car and had a car from, you know, somewhere. I was here at the time in this house. So this was maybe about, I want to say 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. I get a call from the lady whose house that I used to live in when I first got here. I lived in her house for a year. She calls me and she says, I got something at the house for you. Can you get one of the kids to stop by? I send my son over there to go get it. I get a check out of the mail. It's like $500 and something dollars, almost $600. And it said it's a rebate for your Nissan Rogue. I had a Rogue when I moved here from Texas. Which was one of the things that I had started, excuse me, y'all, that I had started building my credit on. I got a Nissan Rogue because the guy that bailed me out of jail told me to go get a new car because they were helping me actively fix my credit. They paid for a credit repair company to come in and fix my credit. This is the thing. Sometimes you may not have the provisions, you know, to be able to do something, but God sends I've told you this person over here, his name was Michael. So God sends the angel, Archangel Michael, or God sends an angel in your life to be able to, you know, do certain things. But mind you, there's still even tests along with the angel because the angel, remember, was told not to touch me, right? Anyway, long story short, provisions being made. Somebody just comes into your life and starts helping you in ways that you never even knew you needed. So the person says, call a credit repair company because I'm going to help you fix your credit. Tell me how much it costs. I call the credit repair company. He sends the money. I send it to them. They start fixing my credit. For the life of me, I didn't realize in the midst of the credit repair company, they did the first initial. So they'll change something. But mind you, they really actually did nothing. But they did something. The thing that they did was they showed me that I could fix it myself. So I done paid these people $1,400 to do a whole lot of fucking nothing. They got the first something off. Then what I started doing was I turned it into a game. They send me a letter, I send them a letter. I didn't even realize how easy it was to fix your credit until I started fixing my credit. The first thing that a lot of people don't do is call and get your credit, pull your credit report from all 3 bureaus, right? So you call, pull your credit. One, y'all don't even know how this will come back to save y'all. So after you call and pull your credit report from all 3 credit bureaus, that's the first documentation. You start looking at everything and start seeing the things that you can change. Send letters and make sure you send them certified. A lot of them will try not to, do the right thing, because then there's another, if the credit repair people, if the credit don't do what you asked them to do, like taking it off or giving me information or documentation, I just disputed everything. This ain't mine, this ain't mine, this ain't mine, da 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 da. They got to prove that it's now mine, because the same way you put it on there is the same way you're going to prove that it's not. Anyway, and so when certain ones, one wanted to try me and said that they didn't have to give no documentation, we were still going to leave it on there. Well, there's a place that actually will, yeah, I don't know why they sent it that. There's a place that actually is above the credit people. So if the credit people start talking crazy, TransUnion, Equifax, all them, if they start talking crazy, you let them know that you're going to call, I forgot what the name of the people, I can tell y'all later. You let them know that you're going to call them, the Bureau of da-da-da-da-da, and they start making moves because they can get in trouble for that. Anyway, long story short, I started fixing my credit, right? So I had the Nissan Rogue when I first moved here. She calls, they had a rebate check for me from that, which was 5 years later. And so all of a sudden you look up and it's money in the mail. It is, what's those things that they be having? So it'd be unclaimed money, unclaimed funds, checks coming, in the mail from somewhere. The government sent me a check. The IRS sent me a check one time. And I'm thinking, like, how did I get a $2,000 check from the IRS? I overpaid, or I did something, and whatever. So all of a sudden you look up and provisions are being made, because I said you're being positioned. So you may think that nothing is happening, but meanwhile your name, hi Andy, welcome, your name is on a list or on somebody's desk or on somebody's table of, I'm gonna make sure that this person gets this. All right, you said chat can do it for free for you now. And y'all be mindful about chat, though. I keep trying to tell y'all, because chat be lying to y'all too. Because I watched the lady, she was having a whole conversation with chat, and I said she's not even questioning whether or not chat be telling her the truth. Because you got to have some discernment and some reasoning with chat too. Because y'all be thinking that chat is just the AI and the AI is going to tell you the truth. The AI be lying, okay? The AI then took a nigga to court and filed documents, and now they got a lawsuit against them because AI was practicing as an attorney. So be mindful of that as well. Okay? So you be in position. Some doors didn't open because they weren't your doors. Some people walked away because they couldn't go where you're going. Be mindful of that. Like, you'll be like, oh, I lost my friend, this, that, and the third, da-da-da-da-da. But meanwhile, you found yourself. Why did certain things happen? Pay attention to everything that has aligned itself along the whole entire way. Some delays protected you from moving too early. I don't use it at all. I was just telling the people. No, I'm just saying, I use chat a lot. I like chat. But chat, for everything that it does, it also ain't. So I use chat. I like chat. I like AI. I don't like, some of the things that happen with it, that you're taking up too much water, that, all these things are happening. But for what I use AI for, I feel like it's good. I don't, try to go too far too fast, but I also question, and I also have a sense of discernment and reasoning, because like I said, I done caught it lying multiple times, and then I'll be thinking it's supposed to be smarter than me. So how am I calling you on your stuff if you're supposed to be smarter than me? So just be mindful that, have some reasoning and everything else. So I get you, Mike, and thank you for that. And here's the part that they didn't expect. And I always tell y'all, even with the theys, whoever they are or whoever they could be, y'all do realize there's a lot of hacking that's happening behind the scenes, right? And if you don't know, there's a lot of hacking that's happening behind the scenes. Somebody just tried to hack the government the other day. So just be mindful. Things can change in a system, because you could be on the hackers happy list and they just decide to give everybody this, that, or the third, and you start just, funds start falling from everywhere and everything. I told y'all yesterday I passed my test, right? So, and I also told you that my last name was being, reinstated to a last name that I changed in the government and everything else. Somehow it got placed back to a name from when I got married, and I don't know how that happened in the system. Either way, long story short, they told me it could take up to 25 days before it got taken out in the system, and I told y'all I felt like God was going to make some moves for me. So yesterday I actively kept checking, right? And by the end of the day, that thing said, "Welcome, Tylishia Harmon." I said, period. So then I tried to hurry up and go get the that paper notarized, but the bank had already closed. It was 5:11 and the bank closed at 5. So either way, by the end of the day, God had already made some moves for me. And just so y'all know, like I said that I put that out into the universe, because when a lady said it could take 25 to 20, up to 25 business days, but I instantly knew that God was already working on my behalf, and I said it in front of y'all. God worked in one day. So, and I said I wanted to make sure that what I did next, I did it in my name, not under my name, not over my name, in my name. Because y'all are needing to realize that you were a blessing as soon as you entered into this realm. The things that we talked about, your name was a blessing. Your name rings bells in the spiritual realm. Your name rings bells in the heaven. And remember I said when you came into this realm, the universe knew who you were. The universe knew who you were tied to. The universe knows your paternity. The universe knows your legacy, your inheritance. And regardless of what the government has done, trying to hide and try to cover up people, who's a part of the land, who owns this, who owns that, the universe knows. Heaven knows. So the people can lie. The government can lie. But at the end of the day is going to end. And the universe, I trust God. I trust what God has in store. I have big faith. I have supernatural faith that when I said they're not authorized to enter into my space, they're not authorized to, tamper. They're not authorized because they want to continue to put blindfolds and shields over people's eyes. They're not authorized. All the government do is lie and facts. And so every day we have to be mindful that everything is spiritual, and spiritually we have to, cover ourselves. Spiritually we have to protect ourselves. Spiritually we have to ask for, our what belongs to us to be reinstated to us. Because the government wishes for things to be reset, because you got to remember that who is actively running the government and everything else behind the scenes. We don't know. We don't know them people, and them people don't know us. They've been actively doing everything that they can do this whole entire time. I don't know what's up with the Chargers. They've been doing, that one just did a thing. They've been actively doing everything they can to steal. And they're doing it intentional, because it's funny how a natural disaster happened here, and they took them 7 days to get Indiana and everybody back online. But meanwhile, a natural disaster happened. I think that was Nepal that it was yesterday. And, excuse me, I watched the lady, it's on my repost. She was talking about how they've been giving them people money. Our government gives so many countries and so many people outside of us money and things. Hey, Jasmine, love you. Thank you for being here. How's your day? Why is our government doing so much for other people outside of us and not doing for the people who are here that we put into the system? Meanwhile, then they got the audacity to be trying to threaten people with, oh, y'all didn't pay y'all taxes, this and the third. But why are we spending our money for y'all to give it to somebody else? Like, it's not adding up. And with that, I'll be saying, God, please get them, because it's not right. It's a lot of things that your supposed leaders are doing that's not right. And so what are we going to do? What are the people going to do? Are we going to continue to keep watching these people just allow, take our stuff, work us to the bone, but meanwhile it's people in other countries that they're just actively using our money, utilizing our resources, because again, they want to steal, kill, and destroy. Because come to find out, Nepal has, or whatever that place is called, I think it's Nepal, they have unlimited resources for them to be able to build some centers, them centers that they be talking about. Anyway, neither here nor there, because I read y'all the part yesterday that says even the government may think that they're above God, but they're not above God. So we have to be mindful. Hey Kat, love you, welcome, thank you for being here. Hope your day is doing what it's supposed to be doing. And how was your night? So now that you're seeing things different, so you learned the lesson without losing yourself. Now that you're seeing things differently, you're not reacting the way that you used to about things. I'm sorry to hear that, Majestic. What happened? Yep, Mike, and it just caught them in one line. Oh, okay, yeah, sorry that happened. Yes, because you know what, they definitely do that. But you know, we just got to keep on moving and doing what we got to do, and keep saying God get them. Y'all be mindful of that. You're not authorized, and God get them. Because guess what? Where two or more shall touch and agree, there we shall be. So be mindful that the power of life and death is in the tongue. And if we continue to speak out loud that, you know, God please get them, sooner or later, they're going to be God. And right now, I feel like they're being God anyway, because they're being exposed in all different ways. Because I don't know why people don't actively see that. Red is not helping. Blue is not helping. They're actively, you know, lining their own palms. It seemed like they all got richer, you know, while the nations are being torn apart. But also, I think actively, and I don't care what nobody say, I feel like they know the devastation that's happening to the world. Scientifically, they would have to know the devastation that's happening to the world, and that's why they're not afraid. They know something bigger, that because they can't control, you know, all the weather. They can't do, you know, this, that, or the third, and there's bridges that are, you know, being torn down. There's cracks and foundation opening in the ground. There's lakes and rivers spilling over. There's lakes and rivers drying up. I don't feel like those are, you know, their actions. Those are actions of God. But if they already know that we're doomed, like, you know, the universe is going to suck itself up and this, that, and the third, then of course they would do the most ungodliest things, because, like, you know, what are you really going to do anyway? I'm not going to tell you, because guess what? If they actively told us, and we can see it with our own two eyes, the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy, right? But meanwhile, we'll still act like we don't see what's happening, right? And we already see it's natural disasters everywhere. That's why I said people think they run into this place and that place, and look what's happening. All over the world is having issues right now, right? But if they told the people that the earth is failing and it's breaking apart and it's going to destroy itself, this, that, and the third, they wouldn't be able to do nothing with nobody. So they keep everybody at bay by acting like the world is still going on business as usual. This ain't business as usual. I done been on this earth 50-something years, and every day I wake up, it's something new, something different, something strange, something otherworldly happening. The world is actively changing right in front of our face. Now also this, it's a beautiful and wonderful time to be alive. I prayed the other day and I asked God to allow me to be able to be alive. Allow me to be able to have the feeling of being alive. Along with awareness, the feeling of, like, not just living. It's like the feeling that you have. The other day I tasted something, and y'all, it was like my taste buds lit up. Like it was the first time my taste buds experienced that. And I made note that, oh shit, that was delicious. It's like that. She said, I'm from Gary and this weather is biblical. Period. Earthquakes in diverse places, wars, rumors of wars, nation against nation. These are birth pains. Mind you, this is the other thing. They keep saying something about World War III, this and the third. And as I told y'all, they can't start World War III. They literally try to create something into the system, try to create chaos into the system. It's like them wanting to start something, but it ain't going to start till God say it's going to start. And when God say it's going to start, oh, all hell's going to break loose, and that's going to be everywhere. So it's like they're trying to initiate. So like she said, these are birth pains. It's like somebody trying to use castor oil to induce your birth. It's like somebody trying to push a baby out when it's not time. The baby ain't gonna come until it's time to come. I don't care what you keep. I'm gonna induce your labor. So that's how the war, like, they try to induce labor. But nah, when the war breaks out, it ain't gonna be no peace for nobody. This person gonna be arguing with this person gonna be arguing, because everybody is right now trying to stay in control of the chaos. It's gonna be when God is in control of the chaos. So right now they're trying to control the chaos. Nah, nigga. No ma'am, no ham. When God puts the chaos and start mixing that, it's like God, you see God mixing up the waters like this, and then the people trying to figure out, oh, well, how we stop this, that. You're not going to be able to stop it. God already said that it is. And everybody that's here that knows Earth School and the number one rule of Earth School, from the beginning of time, from the time this channel started, and it was a storm then, and it's a storm now. What do you do in the midst of the storm? Because I told y'all already. Do you run? What you do in the midst of a storm? Like, if you don't know, I'll enlighten you, or you could go look at the first videos that I ever did on my YT channel. When in the midst of the storm, you stay still. Because if you trust God and you know God, we could go back over here, the Psalms 91. Like, you don't run in the midst of the storm, you get caught up. If you run in the midst of a tornado, you get your ass swept the hell up. You stay still. You talk. And you pray with God. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. She said, pray and take cover. Mike said, take cover, period. Like, I'm not out here actively afraid of diseases and death and this, that, and the third, when everybody out here talking about, oh, all of this stuff is happening. Hi, Mr. Steele. How are you doing today? Love you. Thank you for being here. How was your night? In the midst of everybody talking about, oh, it's this disease running rampant. This person is intentionally infecting this person, da-da-da-da-da. I ain't worried about it. Didn't even care. Mind you, just so you know, just because you're not doing nothing, it could be people that's in your house that, you know, you get infected by this, that, and the third, da-da-da-da-da. So it don't even have nothing to do. And then, mind you, it's a lot of stuff that's even coming up where they're learning, oh, why did this pop up, Dream Queen? And I swear it reminded me of Dream Sequoia. Dina, is you around here? You probably wouldn't admit it if you was anyway, because you like to lie too. But if you are, say hello. Hi, girl. But anyway, yeah. You're not going to be threatened by that. You don't have a spirit of fear. Yes, things can happen. Things do happen. But at the end of the day going to end, and I believe in God. I trust God. So whatever is happening is going to happen. People be so worried about, oh, death and disaster and this, that, and the third. Well, guess what? If you die, be thankful, because guess what? That's also another something you ain't got to worry about. But now you got to worry about what's over on the other side. But the number one rule of Earth School, don't die. Because guess what? I want to wake up and I still want to love tomorrow. I want to wake up and I want to enjoy tomorrow. I want to wake up and I want to be, you know, I want to experience. I want to adventure. I want to do something that I've never done before. Do with that information what you will. So whatever experience you have, that's just what it is. So the collective is entering into a season where actions will speak louder than explanation. People are going to reveal themselves without having you expose them. You don't have to do it. They're going to do it themselves. So don't chase the truth. Let the truth come looking for you. Because what is meant for you won't require you to betray yourself to receive it. Point blank, period. I wasn't stuck. I was being positioned. And now I'm ready. And the collective, don't rush what you've already survived long enough to receive. Point blank, period. Mr. Steele said, she said, fear not, for I shall uphold you with my right hand. Cat, period. Mr. Steele says, I'm good. All right, y'all chat and slow down. Mr. Still says, I'm good. How are you? Have an awesome day. I am amazing, Mr. Still. I'm over here. We just having a conversation. We like in the PJs, just relaxing. It's morning talk, morning conversation. And we just, talking about what happened last night, what's happening in the spiritual realm. We got surveillance, investigation, this, that, and the third. But we're not afraid of that because guess what? We do the right thing because we know God is always watching. We're not afraid of what they're seeing because we know what God is seeing. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, just know, just because you don't see movement doesn't mean that there isn't movement. There's a season where life gets unusually quiet. Conversations slow down, opportunities seem to disappear, people stop calling, things you expected to happen don't happen. You may even find yourself asking, what is going on? Why does it feel like nothing is moving? But here's today's message for y'all. The silence is deceiving. What you can't see is only on the surface. Or what you can see is only on the surface. All right? There are things being worked out that you don't have access to yet. There are decisions being made, connections being made, connections being formed, information being revealed, circumstances changing, and people showing you who they really are, all without you having to do anything. And sometimes the most important movement happens when everything looks still. And here comes Mr. Still. Point blank period. So 2 words, same. Number 1, don't make mistakes or don't make mistake silence for nothing happening. That's a real thing. He said, awesome. Certainly his eyes are always upon the righteous and period. Not the self-righteous, but the ones who honor the spirit within. And amen and period. I mean and period. So don't mistake silence for nothing happening. Think about a seed. We talked about this before. So think about a seed. When you go to plant something, you put it in the ground, you cover it with water, cover it with dirt, water it, and then nothing. So for days, it looks exactly the same. If you only judge the situation by what your eyes can see, you might say nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, roots are developing. The seed isn't inactive. It's preparing. That's what some of you are experiencing right now. When you plant the seed, put the dirt over top of it, you water it, and then you just gotta wait. You may have not seen any visible evidence yet, but that doesn't automatically not mean that nothing is happening. Sometimes the external world or word, because the power of life and death is in the tongue, and we're also having conversation, but the external world goes quiet because the internal foundation is being established first. You're being prepared for something that you haven't seen yet. A lot of us are being prepared. Not left, not ignored. It's planting time, seed time. So, or it was already planted, just so you know. It's working underneath the soil. So things are being rearranged behind the scenes. This is the part that I really want the collective to understand. Rearrangement doesn't always look like a rival. Sometimes rearrangement looks like a relationship changing, someone subtly distancing themselves, because a lot of that has been happening and taking part. Mr. Steele says, much love to everyone and all, and may peace and grace be with us all. Have an awesome day, fam. Okay, thank you, Mr. Steele. A job opportunity falling through. A plan being... So my stream that was 24 hours just shut off. So I'm going to leave it. And then I'll turn it back on once we get off. An unexpected conversation, someone revealing information that they weren't supposed to reveal, because, you know, that's also happening. You lose an interest in something that you once desperately wanted. You realize that a person isn't who you thought they were, and that's happening a lot with people these days. So being mindful, that's one of the things that I talked about earlier. You lose an interest in something that you wanted desperately, like now all of a sudden it's not that. Like I changed my mind. That's what I wanted before, but you know, don't want that now. You realizing that a person isn't who you thought they were, said that, sorry. Having to change your original plan. Sometimes we gotta change. Sometimes we gotta replan. Sometimes we gotta, you know, re-navigate. feeling pushed into a completely different direction. So at first you may interpret this into, you know, things, they're like a setback. It's a setback, but it's not. So sometimes calling a setback, something that you call a setback, is actually redirection. You're looking at one piece of the puzzle and saying nothing. This doesn't make sense. But you haven't seen the entire picture yet. It's like when the guy asked me those questions, Mike, when the guy that you deleted, and I said, I'll give it to God because I can't make an informed decision. I don't know those people's business. So it may have had a little bit to do with what we was talking about, because it's right here. People want to make a judgment call on certain things, or people are, you know, wanting to explain away situations and circumstances that we don't fully know the answer to, or we don't fully know everything, all the answers to yet. So how can we do that? So you don't have all the information yet. This is where patience becomes important. Imagination is important. Sacrifice is important, honestly, because even just know that this is where patience becomes important. So the things that you would explain away, these are the things that are in, this is where they become important. So imagine walking into a movie during the middle of it. You see two people arguing. You don't know what happened before the argument. You don't know that where they're going afterwards. You don't know how the story ends. You only know one scene. So that's how life can feel sometimes. You're judging the entire situation based off of one chapter. But the one chapter, the one that you're basing it off of, but the chapter you're currently living through is not necessarily the conclusion. So some of you are saying, I thought I'd be further by now. I thought this would have already happened already. I thought they were going to come back. I thought that opportunity was mine. I thought everything was fine. It's finally going to work out. I thought this situation, I thought. No, Mike, no, you did what you did. No. I already told you. When it's done, it's done. It was intentional. Because again, remember, we already used that because of the fact that I said, protecting my interests. That's the other thing. So once it was done, it was already done. Everything was important. All right? So don't feel bad. That what you felt was right. Point blank, period. Don't question it, okay? All I'm saying is that, so don't question it. All right? Wait before you decide that the story is over. You may simply be standing in the chapter where the pieces are being moved around. So, you know, I don't know nothing about chess and this, that, and the third. And sometimes pieces are being, you know, invisible pieces, invisible teachers, invisible, you know, da-da-da-da-da. Everything is spiritual. And we may be looking at it from the 3D, from, you know, what we can see with our eyes. But meanwhile, there's so much more stuff that's happening behind the scenes. And that's why I'm saying, if you felt what you felt, that's it, that's all. Ain't no reason to question it. Watch what people do in silence. This is a major key. When everything is loud, people can hide behind words. Everybody can tell you, I support you, I'm happy for you, I'm always going to be here for you, you can trust me. I'll be thinking that when people say you can trust me, that's my first sign not to trust you. So, you know what I mean? That's what I'll be trying to tell y'all, period. Don't trust nobody, not even me. Anything I say to y'all, go look it the fuck up for yourself. Because guess what? Just because it makes it true for me, don't make it true for you. Don't trust nobody. This is your journey, and you have to walk your journey, right? So, but when things get quiet, watch who checks on you, who disappears, who only comes around when you need something, who celebrates you when there's nothing to gain. This is the thing, because I'm one of those people, I'll get quiet real quick. I'll go on my own direction and this, that, and the third. People will take it as something against them. They don't realize it has nothing to do with them. I can only hear if I'm only hearing what I'm hearing. And it's a time for you to be around people. It's a time for you to be entertaining. It's a time for everything. And sometimes it's just a time for me to be off on my own and experience life for my own, be able to see what, you know, I'm doing or what needs to be done. And I have people, you know, family members that will make it seem like, oh, I'm just ignoring them, or I'm just this, that, and the third. Not realizing this is my journey. That's your journey. I get that you want, you know, whatever you want, conversation, this, that, and the third with me, da-da-da-da-da. But now's the time for I have to take the reins for myself. I got to hear what I got to hear for myself. I got to be with me and myself. If you're taking it that I'm doing something to you, then that's something within you. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And that's something that I had to learn too, because of course I want to get better at making sure that, you know, I can show up for people, this, that, and the third. But first and foremost, I got to show up for myself. And showing up for myself is, I got to be quiet. I got to do what I'm being told to do, what my spirit is in alignment with. But you got to think. And families, this, that, and the third, everybody wants to be, I don't know why the word I want to use is a calamity, but, you know, I don't know. And sometimes you don't have to confront anybody, just observe, because observation gives you information that confrontation sometimes never will. And I told y'all, I feel like we done been conditioned wrong in a lot of things. As I grow and as I learn, I feel like we done been conditioned in love wrong. We done been conditioned in relationships wrong. Because I can love you, you, and you. I can love all of y'all and not want to be with none of y'all. I can love you and want to be with you at this moment in time, and love you and want to be with you at this moment in time, because it's different. But for some reason, the way they tell it is I got to be condemned if I love this person or if I love this person. I feel like if I'm treating everybody the way that they, you know, like I would want to be treated, and I'm doing good by people, you can't tell me that I can't be in love with this person and I can't be in love with this person. Or I may be in love with this person and not in love with that person, but I still want to, you know, have my lesson in my journey. But they will teach you that you have to be a bad person in life if you love this person, or if you want to be around this person that's treating this person wrong. And if that's not what you meant to do for your journey, then you go on with your journey. And of course, I can't be mad at you because you didn't want me to love you the way I want to love you. But you also not going to be mad at me because this is the way God taught me to love. And so that's another thing. The longer I, you know, live here and the longer I see certain things, it's like me realizing when you're around other people, their energy bleeds into your energy. That's a real thing. You'll start to now, I'm eating the same thing that you're eating because of the fact that, you know, most of the time I'm only going to cook one thing. But now I done got to the point where you don't have to eat the same thing that I want to eat. Mike, what do you want to eat for dinner? Okay, that's fine. If that's something that I want to eat, that's good too. But guess what? If I don't want to eat that, I'm going to cook a whole other meal for me and a whole nother meal for you. If you want to intermingle with your meal with my meal, then we can. But if not, like, I'm not going to now be thinking that I got to just cook one meal. Everybody got to be on the same mindset. My taste buds might not be doing what his taste buds is doing today. And so, but I'm deciding that I love Mike enough that I want to cook for Mike. So guess what? I'm going to cook both meals, but I'm not going to have to limit myself to, oh, I just got to cook one thing. Nope. I'm not doing that. And if we got leftovers, I can freeze them for a whole nother time for Mike. Like, there's ways for us to be able to do the things that we could do that don't interrupt my journey from your journey to this journey. I'm not going to force Mike that, oh, Mike, well, I'm not cooking that for dinner. This is what I'm cooking for dinner today. Now, if you just don't know what you want to eat, that's a whole nother thing, because I need for y'all to know what y'all want. Because we done got so comfortable with the fact that, oh, what do you want to eat today? Oh, I don't know. Well, I'm going to need you to know, because it's going to be it's going to be air biscuits for you. Because these are things as simple as something to eat. You need to know what it is that you want. Listen to what your body's telling you. Yesterday, I wanted a Jersey Mike sub so bad. This bitch better get my money back too while we at it. Because let me go ahead and check that. Because I still ain't off the fence on whether or not I'm about to fucking do a Google review on these bitches. Because they done pissed me the fuck off so bad. And my money still ain't there. How long do it take for my money to go back? Because somebody need to tell me. But yesterday, I wanted a Jersey Mike sub so bad. To the tune of, normally when I get my food, when I go to a restaurant, pick it up, I done already picked in the food. I'm eating the chips. I done drank my drink before I got home, this, that, and the third. Yesterday, I wanted a Jersey Mike sub so bad, and I get the turkey, the provolone. It had lettuce, tomato. It had onions. It had extra mayo. It had that relish that they have. It was going to be delicious. I put my food in the back seat. I put my drink in the middle of the console in the back, so I didn't touch it. I got my dill pickle chips. Everything was in the back seat. I drives home with my food because I said I was going to come and I'm going to sit here. I push record on the cameras. It was going to be good. And I made sure that I did everything right to be able to come and sit and enjoy my food. I don't do that too often. Matter of fact, that was the very first time that I ever did that. My son, as I was doing all this, and I told my son, I said, you know what? I'm going to make sure I don't tamper with my food. None of that. I'm going to drive my food home, so I'm going to sit in the back seat. You know what my son said? He said, Mom, just a heads up and a warning. When you've been craving something, he said, it ain't going to hit. It don't hit sometimes the way that you expect for it to hit. I get home, I sat here, I push record. I pulls out my food, and I felt my bread was hard as a fucking brick. And I said, ain't no way in hell this bitch didn't know when she made my sandwich that this bread was hard as fuck. I instantly got pissed off. Because, bitch. So I calls the Jersey Mike's and I tell Jersey Mike's, I said, my sandwich, I made my sandwich last night. I just made my sandwich and I said, I'm very upset because I got all the way home. I sat here. Open up my sandwich. I pushed record on the cameras because I was getting ready to enjoy my food, and my bread is hard as a brick. Like, I'm tapping the bread like this. You can hear it knocking. Ain't no way you didn't know that my sandwich was hard as a fucking brick, bitch. Well, I'm just going to refund you your money, da-da-da-da-da, I'm still calling up there, and I still might make a fucking Google review because, bitch, but the kids, it keeps being kids running stuff, and I don't want to say nothing about the kids running nothing, but at the end of the day, like, you run a sandwich joint. The most important part about a sandwich joint is bread. Make it make sense. How is the bread not fresh? How are you out here messing up the sandwich? Mike said, I tried for the first time the other day and hated it. You might be the reason why I wanted it so bad then. See what I'm saying? See how quantum entanglement works? Because yesterday I wanted that sandwich so bad, it was just... And then the bitch fucked it up. I had to take the meat off the bread, and now I'm eating dill pickle Jersey Mike's turkey chip sandwiches. Pissed me the fuck off. Anyway, being rearranging. Your standards are changing, your priorities are changing, your tolerance is changing, your understanding is changing, your boundaries are changing, your relationship with yourself is changing. Things that used to bother you may not bother you anymore. Things you used to chase may no longer interest you. People you once needed validation from may no longer have the power over you. And you may suddenly sometimes find yourself saying, I don't want that anymore. That's growth. Sometimes you think you're losing interest in something when you're actually outgrowing it. And that's the reason why a lot of y'all may be a little bit different or more different from, you know, people, places, and things that you used to feel comfortable with. But, you know, outgrowing something is just outgrowing it. It don't have to be anger behind it. It don't have to be hate behind it. It don't have to be malice behind it. It just is, I have outgrown that. I don't want that. Anyway, some doors are closing because your direction is changing. Sometimes you outgrow people that you write with, and then they look at it, they take it as, you know, an infraction against them, like, oh, this person hates me, da 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 da. Meanwhile, I just outgrown this relationship. And that's okay. Like, we don't have to argue, we don't have to fight, we don't have to none of that, just to know that, you know, we're growing in two different ways, but we have been conditioned not to know how to even handle that, or even to be able to sit down and have a conversation, you know, actively, like, you know, I feel like I'm growing in this way, or I'm changing in this way. Thank you. Hi, Brittany. How you doing today? So some doors are closing because your direction is changing. Not every closed door is punishment. Not every rejection means that you're not good enough. Not every delay means that you're being denied. Sometimes a door closes because you were trying to walk into a room that no longer fits who you're becoming. And that's hard to accept when you're emotionally attached to the outcome. You might say, but I wanted that. I did want that. You know, but I have to accept. Look at me, growing and glowing. Look at me being able to live without people that I thought I was never going to be able to live without. I feel amazing. How was your night? But look at me, glowing and growing. So I wanted that. I know, but but wanting something doesn't automatically mean it's aligning with where you're going. Sometimes life has to be removed, or certain things has to be removed that you're comfortable with before you consider what you're capable of. So the other day I made a decision. I was trying to figure out something, and I said, I don't know which direction, I don't know what businesses I want to choose, this, then, and third. But the fact of the matter is that once I passed my test, it gave me a spark to say, okay, this is one that I can add. Mind you, adding this one will also add that one. But because I hadn't made a decision, or because, you know, I wasn't dealing with this, or because I had to start dealing with this now, it now pointed me in a direction that you need to create a business for this, or you need to do this, or you need to do that, or this is the business. And then I was going through some old notes, and then it was funny that I found some business licenses from some businesses that I had way back when I didn't really know, you know, and the business may have not lasted but for 32 days, but it's funny how some things come full circle. Like, you had a business doing this, but now you're in this business. Or like when I had the boutique, T LaBelle Boutique, right? And because it's my name. And then you can add these things to the boutique, or you can add this, you know, to whatever. You have medical assistant, or you have aesthetics, so you can add this, or you can have that, you know, behind the scenes. So now you got to actively go and try to figure out this, or actively trying to figure out this. Oh, you can't go this way, so, you know, maybe this is important. Excuse me, cancel this out. I'm not going to go do this, but I have that history, I have that background, but, you know, whatever. Anyway, stop trying to force the timeline. This is where many people become frustrated. You know what you want, you know what you prayed for, you know what you envisioned, and now you're watching the calendar. So when will it happen? When is this going to happen? When am I going to get my breakthrough? When are things going to change? When are they going to realize? When am I going to see the results? But sometimes you get so focused on when that you're missing what is currently happening, because the journey, the blessing is the present. The blessing is now. The blessing is going through the journey, and being attentive to it. So pay attention. The small changes matters. The new ideas matter. The unexpected opportunity matters. The conversation matters. The endings matter. The new connections matter. The sudden realizations matter. The fact that you don't react the same way you used to, matters. Those are movements too. Your job isn't to figure out everything. You don't need to know everything, every detail today. You don't need to know who's talking. You don't need to know who's, you know, got your file on their desk. You don't need to know how everything's unfolding. You don't need to know how to predict every move. You don't need to chase every answer. And you certainly don't need to create problems just because you don't have information. Some people will create problems for themselves because nothing's happening. Let me figure out how to do something. Let me meddle, you know, and do something. Sometimes your only assignment is to simply observe, prepare, and move with wisdom. That's it. That's all. If something is genuinely meant for you, you won't have to destroy yourself trying to force it into existence. Prepare yourself for what you're being asked for. A lot of people be wanting some stuff and then they get it and they not prepared for it. So if you want it, you ask for it and then you lose it because you wasn't prepared for it. How many of y'all have done that? So now's the time for preparation. So prepare yourself for what you're asking for. If you're asking for a better opportunity, improve your skills. If you're asking for a better financial growth, get your finances organized. If you're asking for healthier relationships, learn your boundaries. Like I said, learn what you want to eat. Stop saying you don't know to certain things. Know some stuff. So get to learn yourself. These are the things that I like. These are the things that I don't like. I like capers, y'all. And I've been finding myself been buying jars of these things and literally just drinking the juice and eating the stuff. But I realized, like, when I got that on some salmon, that's like the best meal ever. When I got that on some eggs, that's like the best meal ever. I've been literally going through stuff and trying to figure out, like, you know, what I like. Mayonnaise, like, I'm a mayonnaise person, right? But then I realized, like, when I started baking, using mayonnaise, because mayonnaise ain't nothing but eggs and oil, right? When you add mayonnaise to the bread or anything else and you bake it, or you know, like, heat it up, y'all, it gives the best texture in this, that, and the third. Like, I'm starting to learn just the things, like, what I like, what I really, really like, right? and being able to enjoy, savor the moment. Like, I like food. I'm definitely really a foodie, right? And I will try things that the way that they're made first, and because I know how to cook, then I'll start customizing. So I don't want to say I'm gonna take this off and I don't want it like this. No, I'm gonna try it exactly the way that it's made, and then I'm gonna freestyle it. I've been loving doing that. Anyway, long story short, I'm learning things that I like to eat. I like rice. I've been very big on rice, but you know, rice may not always be good for you. But then I started learning that I like brown rice too. I wasn't really a big fan of beans, but then I started eating beans for protein and this, that, and a third. And maybe it's just the fact that my palate is changing, but I'm also learning to mix this with this and this mixed with that. Tastes like this. And I just like food in general, but you know, food don't taste like it used to taste, and that's the other thing. So now, because food don't taste like it used to taste, it's a basic, you know, food group that you can get that kind of like lights my taste buds on fire, like really, really good. Because food itself ain't it. I learned that cooking, frying chicken or anything that has to be fried, I done stopped using that oil, that regular oil that they be having at the store, and I done started using tallow, that lard, the regular back in the day, old school stuff. It tastes richer. Like, I don't know why, but it's like I'm starting to be able to, my taste buds are so alive that I'm starting to be able to pick out and pinpoint like little ingredients that seem like it just, so maybe there's a chef or somebody around. Either way, I like it. So if you a chef, my daddy's a chef too, so that could be the thing. But either way, I'm loving that new skill that I'm getting too. Like, my salivary glands are on 10 right now. So, you know, maybe that's a good thing. Hopefully that's the way you pronounce it. But if not, charge it to the education system. Oh, chef him. That's funny. That is hilarious. Because then he said, he waved. Chefumi is here, y'all. I said maybe there's a chef around. He said, period. See what I'm saying? All right, I love it. Look at God. So you're asking for healthier relationships. Learn your boundaries. You're asking for peace. Stop entertaining unnecessary chaos. Plug right on in at the right time. I love that for us. How was your night? And thank you for being here. If you're asking for a new chapter, stop repeatedly reopening the old ones. Preparation is movement. Don't let the silence make you panic. Silence can trigger people. When you don't have answers, your mind starts creating them. You know how silence triggers people? Do you know how beautiful it is to be able to sit next to a person and be quiet? And not feel like you have to say something? And not feel like, you know, we just gotta, I'm at peace and I just am sitting here with you. When you don't have answers, your mind starts creating them. You start assuming, you start overthinking, you start checking, you start stalking pages, you start reading messages, you start wondering what something meant or what someone meant. You start imagining conversations that never happened. And suddenly you're responding to possibilities instead of facts. You should not do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Don't allow a lack of information to become the invitation for your imagination to create a disaster. If you don't know, you don't know. Let the situation reveal itself. You don't have to fill in every blank. Let me tell you how I know that to be hardcore. Because when a nigga get on my nerves, right? Or when a nigga started disappearing into places and things, I got this thing. I start cleaning up. When I start cleaning up, know that your ass is grass, okay? Because this is the thing. Most of the time when I start cleaning up, they don't even know I done cleaned up, right? I start preparing things and washing niggas' clothes and this, that, and the third because I already know, and it seems like it works every time. It's a weird thing. By the time I get done cleaning up everything, I done washed everything, I done wiped down the walls, I done scrubbed the da-da-da-da-da, my mind says, fuck that and fuck them. Because if you give me a whole enough time to clean up everything, yeah, you didn't care. And every time I done that, and I ain't never put no niggas out. They just automatically know that it's over. Like, literally, and it's a thing. And the other funny part about this is this. Have anybody ever noticed any of this, or is it just a me thing? I could be wearing, you know, jewelry and whatnot, right, from a person. And the minute I break up with them, or the minute we broke up, like, spiritually, I'm telling y'all, everything is spiritual. The shit breaks. Like the necklace breaks all on his own. Something happens. The earrings are come out. Like the bracelets break off. The anklets, everything, whatever that person gave me, instantly snaps on its own, and it's a weird thing. Does that happen to anybody else but me? Because I'm confused by that also, but I know what it is. It's like the official is done. Like the chains, the ties that bond, or the chains just break off, and then it gives me shackles on my feet. I think you owe me something. Say that shit like you know what I mean? They ain't say that, but that's how I felt. Either way. There's no power in not interrupting the process. This may be the biggest message for you today. Sometimes you have to stop touching things. Stop calling, stop chasing, stop explaining, stop proving. Stop trying to make somebody understand you. Stop trying to force the answer. Stop trying to control the outcome, because sometimes you keep asking for things to change while simultaneously interfering with the process of change. Ending, break the chain. Yes. He said no because I throw it in the trash. Listen, I don't even like doing that. I'm a person. I got stuff from 1902. I got some prison letters that I was reading, came out of nowhere. Like they just showed up. Like I'll be saving. I got sentimental things, right? Because in my mind, I be feeling like it's a part of the history. But also, I got this thing where I swear, you can't tell me that I know that I ain't an ancient old being and I'm just going to be around here for forever and a day. So it's like I'm collecting a trunk full of stuff. So that way, when I'm alive and everybody else is dead and it's like, 30, 58 or whatever, I'm going to be like, I remember the Renaissance when it happened. And then I got all these pictures and all this other shit. Like, I really feel like I'm a vampire old spirit or something. I don't know, take it how it resonates, but that's what I'll be thinking. And then like I'm gonna be able to tell the stories. Oh well, in 2026 this nigga did da 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 da. Like that's how I be feeling. So I be saving stuff because that's how I feel. I got envelopes and cards and shit that niggas done gave me from, like, I probably still shouldn't have, but I do. Like, I'm a sentimental. And I keep roses and stuff because I think they look better when they die. Like, they be pretty when they're alive, but honestly, they, like, I got a whole little setup over there. It got, like, all the little candles on it, and it's a whole bouquet. It's, like, so many flowers in it. They're all dead, but it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. So, I don't know. Like, I'll be a little bit weird with certain things, so, don't judge me. You can't rearrange the furniture while somebody else is trying to build the house. Sometimes you have to step back and say, let me see what happens when I stop forcing it. And that doesn't mean becoming passive. It means becoming intentional. There's a difference. It's like what I told y'all earlier today about, why Blueface should not go with Nevaeh to, or why I think he wouldn't go with her. Because to me, it's going to come back to haunt her. He's a very smart individual. And a lot of people, like, you want to be able to, like, you want to be like, you got to let the person play. You got to let the thing play itself out. If you interfere with it, then you don't never know. That leaves a person being able to say, well, no, I wasn't going to do that. Nah, I'm not going to leave that open for you. And do you know the patience that it takes to let a fuck nigga fuck they self? You can know every step of the way that they're going to do it, but just, like, that's a different type of a breed. And I'm sorry I have that mentality, because I be knowing stuff about people and I still got to sit back and let them, like, do your journey. You going to show me better than you can tell me. And so if I go with you, I'm forcing I'm implementing something into it. Let you do it, bitch. So that way it'll show me, if you was really going to do it. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you put your hands in it, now you walk the bitch to the pharmacy, like, that's you doing it. Like, you need to see all the way, let it play itself out if that's what she would have done. That's the way I feel about it. So, I'm not going to do it, bitch. You do it. This is what you got to do. If there's a document that need to be signed, get it signed. Because what you want me to do? If I take you to do it, you're only going to do it. That's me doing it. I want to see what you going to do. And I'm sorry, but I like that strategy, because now there is no you going back on, oh, well, I don't know, I was going to do it this way. Nah, bitch, you showed me what you was going to do. You showed me how you did it. And even though I knew you was going to do it, so that's why, like, because, there needs to be a confirmation, so I tell somebody else. Watch this bitch do this. So I'm sure he done told 3. I'm sure he done told 2. And you know what I mean? He could trust them. I wouldn't tell 1 though. Because 1 seemed like he a little suspect. 1 seemed like he'll be the nigga that'll try to help her. Like, oh, he think you gonna do this, so you gotta do it the right way. Because da-da-da-da. He seemed like he would tell her. And you gotta watch them type of niggas around too. Because that's undermining, you know, your intuition. When you know what type of low life ass bitch this is, and then you got a nigga that, you know, warns her ahead of time. Oh, you know he know da-da-da-da. Bitch. Yo, well, push come to shove, I'll let the government talk themselves into a hole in there. And now I have the receipt. Now comes exposure. Well, let me tell you, that's what I said even about the credit thing. So just so y'all know, the reason why it's important for y'all to have a foundation for your credit is this. I had a credit company one time. I was fixing my credit, and they do this thing where they'll try to make something brand new on your credit. They'll sell it to somebody and they'll try to make it brand new. But because I had already pulled my credit from a certain standpoint, it was about over the 7 years later, right? And somebody else tries to come back and add the same thing that's over 7 years. But because I had pulled the credit, all I had to do was take that credit and send it to them, to the credit bureaus. And I said, this was on this. They try to, you know, readjust this and they try to make it brand new. But this is the same thing from this point. And they just ain't asked no questions because they knew they was caught. So that's another reason why having, you know, keeping documents and things of that nature is important. Like, I got fucking stuff from way back when that I keep, and I may not find it until it's time to, or until I'm getting ready to go look for it. But bitch, know that if there's a document and a record to be had about something that, you know I was right about, bitch, know that I got it, okay? Because I'm going to damn sure have it. The shift is already happening. So if you're currently in a season, don't automatically label yourself as stuck. Ask yourself, what is changing within me? What am I learning? What am I no longer willing to tolerate? What has naturally fallen away? What keeps showing up? What opportunities are appearing? What information what information have I recently received? Who has been revealing themselves through their actions? What am I being redirected towards? Those questions will pretty much tell you everything that you're asking for, and why isn't something, or why hasn't something happened yet. Just so y'all know, a lot of these questions be like on the, I do spiritual counseling things. Hi Jay, hi, welcome, thank you for being here. When I'm doing you know, spiritual stuff, these are a lot of things that I have on the list, because of the fact that, you know, it's important for you to kind of create a foundation, you know, for where we are and what we're going to do. So even if we're looking for spiritual talents, like what's your spiritual talent or whatever, sometimes asking ourselves certain questions, things that we have already been actively doing already and we just haven't paid attention to. Thank you. This is where a lot of these answers come from, because sometimes, you know, when we ask ourselves questions and we start really conceptualizing them and thinking of them, then we start to learn more about ourselves. And this is why I said that you need to even know what you like to eat. Like, it's not as something as simple as, okay, I just don't like tomatoes. Yeah. Why don't you like tomatoes though? When did you start not liking tomatoes? And it's not even about the actual, you know, tomato itself, or, you know, the whole thing. It's just that going back to, okay, well, why did I stop? Is that something that you did, or is that something that you just been doing your whole entire life and your mama did that, or, you know, you've been conditioned for something, but now it's like actively taking the time to. I remember once upon a time I ain't like oatmeal. Like, I rarely eat oatmeal, even to this day. I have oatmeal in my cupboard, this, that, and the third. But when I was little, oatmeal was not on the top of the list of things. And I remember one day my dad made me sit to the table, and he kept telling me I couldn't get down away from the table until I ate this oatmeal. And I didn't give a fuck. I was just sitting there because me and this oatmeal was just not going to do it, right? And then, for some reason, this is always one thing that stuck with me the whole entire time, my whole entire life, right? Why did I not want to eat the oatmeal? And then I felt like it had something to do with good times. I don't think I liked oatmeal at a young age, because later on, like, maybe I just didn't like it because of the color or because of the texture. But as I started to grow up, I didn't like it because of good times. Y'all remember? Good times, keeping your head above water, making a way when you can, temporary layoffs, good times. You remember that? I feel like I didn't like oatmeal because remember that was like the poor meal that they would eat every fucking day, and the mom, she would just take the spoon and on your plate, and every time like you see a prison movie or something from back in the day, it swear like porridge. And so something about it just made me like, I don't want to ever be that poor. Mind you, not realizing oatmeal don't got nothing to do with the economy. But for some reason growing up, it's just the correlation that oatmeal and good times is not what I want to do with my life. Now I realize, guess what? Oatmeal can be freaked in so many different ways. Mind you, I still don't eat the oatmeal, but when I eat the oatmeal, I can have apples, I can have apple cinnamon, I can have maple glaze, I can have, like, you can put raisins in the oatmeal. Like, you can make oatmeal 9,563 different ways, and it's gonna be good. I didn't like grits. I like cream of wheat, but I didn't like grits. And for some reason, again, maybe it was just a texture thing, but didn't like grits. Now, all of a sudden, I'll eat grits. Never ate grits with sugar in it. I hear the difference. I like grits with, and mind you, I didn't eat that till I moved to the South. Butter, salt, and pepper. But it has to be cooked all the way. Like, I don't like it being grainy. So it has to be cooked a certain type of way. But oatmeal is like, I mean, not oatmeal, cream of wheat. So it's like some of the things where it's like those super grains that could help your life, this, and the third. For some reason, I equated them with all the wrong things in life, not realizing it's all the right things that would potentially help your system. So I don't know. Do with that information what you will. Either way, I do not make mistakes. I do not mistake silence for stagnation. I do not panic when I cannot see the entire picture. I trust myself to recognize what is revealed to me. I release the need to force what is not ready. I pay attention to actions, patterns, opportunities, and change. I allow what no longer belongs in my life to move out of the way. I prepare myself for what I'm asking for. I understand that rearrangement can look like disruption before it looks like alignment. I don't need every answer today. I only need to remain aware, grounded, and prepared, because sometimes the quietest season is the one where the most is being moved. The quietest season is the one where the most is being moved. So, collective, don't panic because you can't see it. Don't quit because you can't measure it. Don't chase because you're uncomfortable with silence. Don't reopen doors simply because you're afraid of what's behind the next. Let things rearrange. Let people reveal themselves. Let circumstances unfold. Let old pieces fall into their proper place. And most importantly, let yourself become who you need to be for your next chapter, your next book, your next situation, your next opportunity, your next circumstance. Because when the movement finally becomes visible, you're going to realize that the silence wasn't empty. It was preparation. It was redirection. It was revelation. It was rearrangement. And that's what today's message is. The silence is deceiving. Things are being rearranged behind the scenes. Don't interrupt what you haven't finished understanding. So, thank you guys for being here. She said, wow, I'll only do tomatoes if I'm pregnant. I love me some tomatoes. Mike said, I don't like tomatoes because of the texture. Yeah, I'll put some salt and pepper on tomato, and now some other stuff. I'm gonna do some mozzarella, some basil salad. Like, I love me some tomatoes. So, there's that. But anyway, like, comment, share, subscribe. If you feel blessed today and you like to bless me back, my Cash App, my GoFundMe link is all in the bio. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Have the day you deserve. So will I. And always go with God. Thank you guys for being here. And I'm about to call Jersey Mike's and talk to their manager because that shit pissed me off for real. My granddad used to eat them like that, like apples. I like that. I like raw onions. I just like stuff. I'm trying to tell you. And I like, listen, raw onions with Italian season and a little oil on it. Y'all, you can eat them raw all day long. And they healthy for y'all. So, you know, do with that information what you will. But I'm gonna shut down all the cameras. It look like it's gonna rain today. It might already be raining. I don't even know. But I'm gonna call these people, and then I'm gonna get on here, try to figure out how much I gotta pay for. If anybody would like to, you know, send a blessing for me via Cash App, I would definitely appreciate it and approve it, because I gotta get some licensing done today. Like, I gotta pay for the actual documents and whatnot. So a blessing would be great. You have not because you ask not, so I'm just putting it out there in the universe. If you feel like you wish to help, anything could help, and I appreciate y'all. Mike said the storms are in our area today. That's what it looked like out here too, but it's so, like, I can't see nothing. That's closed, this closed, so it looked like darkness, and the sunlight, the light that normally would be in here is dark, so it got to be either raining or about to rain. So there's that. But yeah, so if y'all wish to do any donations towards me, super chat, super stickers, all that. But technically, if you wish to and you could, Cash Out would be the best, because of the fact that I got things that I need to kind of, you know, get done. I know they ain't got nothing to do with y'all, but, you know, reciprocity, equal give and take is great for me. I love y'all. Go with God, and see y'all later.